Hello friends, and welcome to this month's Global Stampin' Video Hop. My name is Linda Dolke and I'm a demonstrator with Stampin' Up in Australia. I'm excited to share today's video with you because the theme this month is free. And that, as everyone knows, is our favorite price, right? Free. So why is it free? Because this is like a gift with purchase promotion that we've got going right now. It's called Celebration. They do it every year. And it goes from the early January, from the 7th of January right through until the end of February. Okay, so the items that are in here, then there's lots and lots and lots of them, okay, are all free. Now in Australia, that's with a $100 order. The majority of things in here are free with a $100 order. There are stamp sets, there's paper, there's kits, there's embossing folder, which we're going to use today, a couple more stamp sets. What else have we got? Ribbon, more paper, another stamp set, some beautiful shiny adhesive back sequins. These are great. I'm on my second pack. I'm just about to get my third pack of these. Dance With Me is another stamp set here, another pack of paper. Some of the paper is 6x6 and some of it is like this one is 12x12. So the 6x6 you get more sheets, but it's smaller paper, but it works out the same amount, right? Then we have a heart-shaped bundle, which I'm going to show you today. And we also have a special set called the Corner in Bloom. Okay, now the Corner in Bloom and the heart-shaped bundle, this is stamps and dies. These are what they call higher value or level 2 for gift with purchase. So for everything else, you spend $100 and you get any of these items that you can choose from. But if you spend $200, you can choose one of the higher value ones, or you could have two of the other items. Okay, so you can have two level 1 items, or if you're spending over $200, you could have a higher level 2 item. Okay, stamps and dies. And this one over the page, this Corner in Bloom, is actually just a stamp set, but it's a really beautiful stamp set with lots of details. So it's officially a higher level 2 one as well. Okay, so that's the celebration brochure. That's what we're all about. I'm actually going to start making a card today, and I'm going to be using some pieces from both the catalogs, but then I'm also going to show you some of the celebration items. So I'm using a number of celebration items on this so you can get a look at as many of them as possible. So I've got a piece of Fresh Freesia here, Fresh Freesia cardstock, okay, and it is measured, this is in metric, to be 10 centimeters wide by 14.3. You would use your, I hope I got this right, 4 inches by 5 1/4 if you're in North America and need the metric size, so the imperial sizing. Okay, so I've got my Fresh Freesia cardstock first, and then you'll need a rectangle on white, basic white cardstock. Now I have used the perennial postage dies to cut this one out, so that's why it looks like a great big stamp, but don't worry. It means that you can use any rectangular shape. So if you've got the old stitched rectangles, which are no longer available to purchase, but you may have them in your stash, or this one, the perennial postage, or you could just cut a rectangle. Okay, so you really don't have to, but I just thought that that outside edge is really pretty, so I decided to go with that. And then I've used my Stylish Shapes dies, which are my absolute favorite dies in the whole wide world at the moment, and have been probably, I'd say, for the last couple of years. I hope we get to keep them when they retire product coming up on the next annual catalogue. There are 5 squares with the stitches. You can see the stitching around. There are 6 circles and 4 banners. So useful. I'm using the smallest square in this group today, and you can see I've already gone ahead and I've cut some. So let me show you what I've cut them from. We have this beautiful celebration paper, and I've cut 2 with the flower side up, and then I've also used 2 with the background's got this mottled kind of effect. Okay, so I've got a couple of those, and you can see the different colors here. So there's Fresh Freesia in there and Petunia Pop. Those are the colors. And also on these guys, you can see there's some Blackberry Bliss for the darker flowers. Okay, and there's a bit of white in there as well. And then these ones I've used, this is a new embossing folder that is also on the free list. Okay, it's called the Starburst embossing folder, and this is one of the items in that little catalog I just showed you. The reason it's called Starburst, if you look up close, and you really got to get close to see this, is actually there's a little star in the middle of each one, and then like a little burst coming out from each one. That's why it's called starburst. But if you're not looking that close, they kind of look like little flowers. But if you look real close, there is actually a star in the middle. So we're going to be using that. And I have already gone ahead and embossed so I cut a couple of these little squares with the smallest stylish shaped square, and then I embossed it with my Starburst embossing folder to give me a different texture, because I wanted a mix of textures in this particular card. Okay, so I've got 6 of those, 2 flowers, 2 of the backing mottled DSP, and 2 that are embossed. Okay, and that's the 6 that I needed. This paper, like I said, it's called Bloom Impressions, and it's really, really pretty. You've got lots and lots of different colors and designs in here. I like these 2 together. Look, the Shy Shamrock and this white background with your different colored flowers, and the Shy Shamrock leaves. I think those look really good together. I've used that a couple of times now. We've got some peach pie. Oh, look, there's Azure Afternoon here on the back. Peach pie there. And then we've got peach pie and daffodil on the back of this. A little bit of Shy Shamrock. We've got melon mambo in here. Isn't that beautiful? Look, there's a little bit of blackberry in there as well, and some pretty in pink. I just love these colors. Pretty in pink, melon mambo on this one, a little bit of peach, and you can see that's one we've seen before. So you'll see there are 2 sheets of each. Okay, this one is the Shy Shamrock, sort of watered down, so it's not as dark. But aren't these beautiful papers? So that's what I'm working with, and that's what I've cut these from. Okay, that is a free item. When you spend $100, that's a free item with your gift with purchase. Now I'm going to be embossing this background, so I'm going to put it here in my embossing folder, and I'm going to quickly whip away to my cut and emboss machine. This is not a 3D folder, so you would just use it as per normal. Take out your thin die adapter and then just put it through with your regular clear plates. So you don't need any special equipment for this, and I'll be right back with that finished. Okay, now the thing I like about this particular folder, look how beautiful this is now that we've embossed it, is that you get a really good deep impression for just a regular folder. I think it's great, and I love the way this comes out. All right, if you wanted to, I'm not doing this today, but if you wanted to give a little bit more drama to the background, you could go over this with a blending brush and some either Fresh Freesia, or even go up a color, maybe Highland Heather, and add a little bit more drama to the background if you wanted to. I'm not going to worry about it. I think the card's fine as it is, but let's put this together. So this piece is going to go right on here. Okay, so we're going to be working on this, and then we're actually going to put these 6 pieces on here. So it doesn't really matter about where you place each color or each piece, but I like it so that you don't have 2 of the same ones together. So, you know, these 2 are on different lines, these 2 are on different lines, and these 2 are on different lines. I hope that makes sense. You could just glue these straight on, but because I can't help myself, I like a bit of drama, and I'm going to put some dimensionals behind these. So this will just take a moment while I do this, and I can keep talking to you while I do it. All right, I'm not going to push it down yet, because I want to make sure that they're in the right place before I give it, you know, make the bond permanent by sticking it, pushing down hard and making sure it's stuck. They're going to stick well enough. So I'm going to put this, so I've got the same amount of, well, it's slightly off. I can see it's not quite right, but you want to have the same amount of distance on each side, okay? And you also want them to be lined up at the top, so they have the same amount of distance here at the top as well. All right, so that's looking pretty good. And then I'm going to do the bottom ones, so they're the same amount of distance from the top and the sides as well. So let's put, you can get away with just 1 dimensional behind. You may find that easier. It's certainly going to be quicker. All right, so we want to have that, and you can use your grid if you're using either a glass mat like mine or grid paper underneath. You can use that to help you keep it straight. Okay, I think that's very helpful if you have that set up. All right, so let's see. I'm going to move this slightly So it's a little bit closer to that other one. That's looking not bad. All right, and then these two here, let's put a a dimensional behind each one of those. So this guy here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure it's equal distance between these two and the side lines up as well. Okay, and then this one, same thing. But it's up to you. If you want to position these differently, you can do that. But I think this is a good way to keep them as even as possible, is start with your four corners and then add the two in the middle. All right, so I'm just going to look at this. Slightly crooked with a couple of these. So I'm going to pick this one up and move it. Of course, that's the one I stuck down the most. And that's looking better. And if you don't have to worry about it being absolutely perfect, but just get it as straight as you can so it looks like a grid. All right, now this one, a little bit too far from the edge. And I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, this one, maybe just move that over ever so slightly. Whoop. All right, not looking too bad. And don't worry too much because we're going to be putting other pieces on top of this as well. All right, so I'm actually at a point now that I could put this on if I wanted to. I do like to darken up the edges of this piece, and with that I'm going to use a sponge dauber and some fresh freesia ink. You could use a darker color if you really wanted to add a bit more drama, because we do have some blackberry in here, so you could maybe add that and that would certainly darken it up, but I'm not too worried about it. You can see I've just dipped my sponge dauber straight into my fresh freesia ink, and then I'm going to just go around the edges and finish them off. It makes it look like someone cares, even though it's a very subtle thing to do. But you will find if you're sponging the edges of your work, it does make quite a bit of difference to how finished and professional your cards will look. Okay, so that would be a good tip to remember. Where possible, sponge your edges. There are a few exceptions. For example, if it's a stitched edge or an decorative edge like this, I don't feel the need to use color on the edges, because I feel like the edge itself looks finished and decorative, and you don't need to do anything to make it more polished. It will hold its own. But a plain edge where you've just got a very straight edge, that's where I think it can benefit by using some color on the edge and just making it look a little bit more polished. All right, so it's probably not a lot of difference, but I can see where I've zipped around the edge here, and it just makes a little bit of difference. All right, so I'm going to put on the back of here, dimensional backs everywhere. I'm going to put one in each corner. So you want to be, when you put your dimensionals on, don't go too close to the corners, because you don't want them to be seen unless somebody, lifts it to have a look and see the dimensionals. I'm also going to put one in the middle just so it doesn't sag, or you could put another one on either side if you wanted to. Totally up to you. And I'm going to stand up and get this in as close to the middle as I can. All right, it's coming together, it's looking nice. All right, so we've used, how many Celebration products have we used so far? We've used the embossing folder and we've used that beautiful paper. So we've already used a couple of Celebration products that are free, okay? All right, so then I was thinking that the other night on my video, this was I think it's Sunday night's video, I used the heart-shaped bundle, and we had this white piece left over. So if anyone's watching this after having watched that one, you'll be so happy to see me using up the piece that we had left over. And I was thinking, that looks really, really pretty. That's really nice. I like that, okay? But I wanted it to stand out a little bit more, and so what I decided to do is I'm going to use some of this. This is from the, is it Golden Greenery Vellum? I'll put the right name of it up on the screen for you. And we're going to use the heart-shaped dies to cut another one of these. All right, and I'm going to show you. I mean, there's a number of ways you can use this. See these dies? They're lovely, aren't they? Aren't they nice? I really, really like them. All right, we've also got this great little banner that I might use as well. I'll see. I haven't decided if I want to use that one yet. Maybe I will. All right, so I'm actually going to cut this from this piece of vellum, okay? And what that's going to do is it's going to give me the outline piece like this one, but it also means I get the inside piece, and that's what I want to use on here, okay? So I'm actually going to be using this piece of vellum inside my white circle, okay? Well, my white heart. I shouldn't say circle, it's a heart. All right, let me quickly cut that for you and I'll be right back. Okay, you can see where I've cut it out here. And let me move that out of the way. I'm just going to push that center bit out. This is actually the bit I want, all right? So you can see it's kind of a bit funny looking. It's a funny looking heart with all these little leafy pieces out of it. I'm also going to grab a pokey tool. You can use take your pick tool or whatever you happen to have to hand. Just looking to see, what do I have to hand? Okay, here's my pokey tool. And then you can see I've still got part of the heart left in there, so I'm just going to push that out, and there's the rest of it. Very pretty, and I might use that for another one. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put these two together. So I'm going to have my heart sitting inside the vellum heart. Can you see how that kind of fits together? Looks good, doesn't it? All right, so what I want to do is I want to put this on here, and you can see while I'm adding I hope you can see why I'm adding the vellum heart. It makes it a bit more solid. Okay, and if I use it without, pull it off again, if I use it without that, it's pretty, but it's almost too delicate. Anyway, you could go either way. You have to let me know in the comments whether you prefer it with the vellum or without. All right, so I'm actually going to put this together with a few glue dots. All right, so this is what I like to do sometimes. Glue dots are probably one of your best choices with vellum, and I'm picking up a glue dot and I'm going to put it right here on the edge so you can you can't see it through the vellum, but it's going to hold that piece in place there. And I'm going to do the same thing I'm going to do it here in the middle as well. Whoop. I want it to stick. Just there on the edge, so you really can't see it. You can't see the glue dots through the vellum, but they're there holding this together. All right, so let me grab another one, and I'm going to use a few of them. Another one here. A good place is where you've got two leaves close together. So I might have one down the bottom. I just want it to hold together. All right, so that's actually together quite well now. All right, so then how do we want to attach it? If you want it on dimensionals, absolutely I would use mini dimensionals, and I would only put a couple around the edges, okay? You don't want to actually be able to, now if you're going to put like if I was going to do this right in the middle, which I could, and then maybe put a banner across the middle of it, like so, you could put your dimensionals behind the banner, and that would hide them quite nicely. I was thinking about doing this, having it at the top, and then putting my banner across the bottom. Both ideas look fine. I'm not sure. I think maybe I prefer this with the banner at the bottom like that. What do you guys think? Or in the middle with the banner here? Yep, I prefer it at the top. So what I'm actually going to do, like I said, you could use dimensionals behind, mini dimensionals behind some of these edge pieces, but because we've got those glue dots there, I'm actually going to use the glue dots I've already got to hold that down, and that's going to hold quite nicely. Now, if there's a bit there, it could be a bit more attached, so I'm going to grab another one. This, I don't normally use glue dots this way. I would normally use them straight from the roll, but because this is so delicate and I wanted to make sure they're hidden, I decided to go this way. All right, there we go. That's quite nice. And you can see some of the squares a little bit through the vellum, which is exactly what I wanted. Okay, now I've got this little guy, and I'm going to very quickly cut that out so that I can put this down the bottom. Okay, here is my little banner. Now you could, if you wanted to, put a little flower here over on the side. That would be very pretty. Okay, this is just the die. You can see on this card that I made on Sunday night, This is where that white heart came from. I've used one of those little flowers just there on the side, and I think that's really, really pretty, just with this little die. Okay, and I add a little gem to the middle, a little sequin to the middle of it, and that turned out really cute. But you know, you wouldn't have to do that if you don't want to, but I'm actually going to use a slightly darker color because we've got Blackberry Bliss in this paper and also in the flowers here. I think it's a nice choice for our writing, so I'm going to use that. And the stamp set that matches this is the stamp set that you get that's got its own little leafy heart, which is a lot more detailed than the heart that you die cut, because you can be a lot more detailed with stamps. I like this one that says "Just Because I Care," so that's the one I want to use with this. So give me 1 second and I shall grab that out of the pack. Just Because I Care, there it is. And I'm going to add that to a block. Here we go. And I'm going to use my Blackberry Bliss ink, and I'm going to pop it right here on my banner. Here we go. Just Because I Care. Isn't that pretty? And we're going to add that to our piece here. You could zip around the edge of this. It doesn't have a decorative edge really, apart from a little bit there on the ends, but you could go around that with your sponge dauber if you wanted to. So let's do that. But you know, that's an optional thing. You certainly don't have to do it, but just it's pretty if you have that opportunity to do that. I'm doing it very lightly. I'm not going overboard. All right, and then I'm going to use some mini dimensionals, and I'm going to pop this up on the squares. So 1 and 2. There's no point in putting one in the middle because it's actually going to be lower there, so you want to have it on the outside edge, like not too close to the very outside, but let me pop that right there. Like that. All right, and because I'm not using a actually, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my card base. So this is just a piece of basic white thick, half a sheet of A4 or whatever size paper you use, half a sheet, and then fold it in half again, and that will give you your card base. Here we go. Use a bone folder to flatten down that edge. So this is going to go on here. We're getting very close to the end now. Not quite there though. I've got a couple of things that I would like to add. Okay, here we go. I'm going to use some Tombow. You could use any glue you like, seal, tape, anything you like at this point. And I'm going to pop that right here. Like that. All right, I've got 2 more, believe it or not, 2 more items that I think would look really nice on here. I've got my beautiful Fresh Freesia seam binding ribbon, which is one of my favorite celebration items. I need to get some more of this as well, but I'm just going to tie a very small bow with it. And when it comes to positioning the bow, you can decide whether you want to go with symmetry and have it like in the middle, like say, you know, in the middle of your, you could put it in the middle of your bow, you put it in the middle of your heart if you wanted to, which would actually look quite nice, or down the bottom, or off to the side if you want that look. I like both. It's always hard to decide, and if this was a live video like the ones I normally do, I'd be asking my audience and seeing what everyone thought would look best. But seeing as this is pre-recorded, I don't have that opportunity, and you guys are probably in the comments going, in the middle, on the side, do it how you want, that kind of thing. But I'm just going to have to make a decision because I don't have the benefit of all your fabulous opinions. I am going to make this video a premiere though, so you can chat while you're watching it. So that's my plan. All right, I could make this smaller if I wanted to. So, you know, a slightly bigger one. It does look quite pretty in the middle, doesn't it? I don't normally do in the middle. I'm normally an off to the side person. but it does look quite nice. But it also would look nice on the side of the heart here. Oh, it's tough. It's a tough decision. All right, well, I'm just going to go and do it the way I would normally do it. And then if you guys think I should change it up, you can let me know in the comments, because I'm not going to be posting this this pretty card. I'm not going to be posting it on my social media until after this video goes live. So, you know, you can let me know if I need to reposition the bow. There it is in the middle. Now I'm going to go off to the side, guys. Right, so this is how I would normally use glue dots. I get my whatever it is I want to stick it onto the roll, give it a hard push with my thumb, and then take off the item, and the glue dot comes too. And then we're just going to pop that right here towards the base, but off on the side. Now I feel like the ends are a little bit long now that it's on the card, so I'm just going to cut them again. And of course, the last thing I want to have is some beautiful sequins on here. So let's, there we go. That's looking so pretty. I'm so happy with it. Really, really like it. All right, let's find our sequins. This is my second sheet of these, and I'm deciding which color we're going to use. We could use the Berry Burst, which is the dark. We could use the white. Sorry, the white. I don't have many of those left, do I? And then we've got Bubble Bath, which is like a light pink. Or we've got Fresh Freesia. All of these colors would look good on this card. We could really do whatever we like. And then I get to decide also whether I want to put my gems on either side of the greeting or whether I want to spread them around. I'm actually thinking either side of the greeting for this card. So I'm going to have a white one right here. And it's iridescent white. It's not just plain white. So it picks up lots of other colors. And if you turn it in the light, you can see pinks and purples in it. It's very, very pretty. And that's my card today. Whoops, there's another dimensional back. There it goes. So I hope you liked that. If you would like to purchase any of the things you've seen today, whether whether it's stamps, cardstock, whatever it is that you would like, don't forget we have this gift with purchase promotion going right now with a lot of these beautiful things that I've used today. If you would like to see the videos that the other girls in our group have made, you'll need to click on the link to the next video, which you'll find in the description below. Okay, so head down there, you press the more button, and then see the next person. And of course, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you would like more of what I share, I'd love you to subscribe to my channel. Have a fantastic day, guys, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.